Hello and welcome to another video by me, Baxter Johnston. Anyway, this is the Boomerang Mark 1. This is my standard loadout for it. This is just how I take it into battle every time. So, I originally had commentary on this, but it was overloading my mic frequently, and there was all sorts of things that were I don't know, it was fuzzy a lot. But anyway, this is on preparation for landing on Hokkaido. Everybody hates that map unless you're British, or Australian in this case. And, I can't remember if I was, jamming out in the cockpit in this one. But, anyway, I'm pretty sure, hold on a second, I need to check. I'm pretty sure I'm top tier. I hope I'm top tier. Because we all know it's great when you're top tier. Anyway, looking at the cockpit of the Boomerang, it sucks. That's the quickest way I can put it. It's got a lot of bars and stuff. The reticle's bad. It's just not a nice cockpit. Not a good one for sim. But in arcade and realistic, this plane is a beast. It really is one of the better aircraft. And yes, I am top tier in this game. So this game was very badly played on my part. I could have done a lot better. I could have gotten a few more kills, and once you see how many kills I end up getting, you might not believe that. But I once had a 6-kill match in this plane, which demonstrates why you should have recorded. And had I been thinking, I would have saved the replay and sent it into top 5 epic replays, because it was epic. But anyway, so climbing up to altitude, I'm just gonna say some stuff about stuff. So I have, so far, with my previous 2 videos, been able to hold a 1 video a week, but this is going to be the second video, so this is a nice little bonus video, because I felt like making it. And if I have time to make a bonus video, then I most certainly will. Anyway, so, I'm just climbing up to altitude. This plane does have a very nice climb rate. It is not very fast, but it has a good turn time. But some people argue that it's not such a great aircraft due to the fact that it has basically the same or maybe a little bit less of a turn time than the Spitfire. It does have a better armament than most of its low-tier Spitfires, and it's not as fast as the Spitfires, and it doesn't climb as well, etc., 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 etc. Well, those are all true, but that's not the case. The Boomerang is definitely a good aircraft. Yeah. And against the Japanese, clearly you have no hope of outturning them. They will turn inside you every time. So you can't turn fight. You are a little bit faster, but for the most part they can match speed with you. Anyway, the way you have to play the Boomerang is more of a head-on fighter when you're fighting against the Japanese, because this thing is a tank. It is a complete and utter tank. I have taken so many shots in this thing and then proceeded to crash it on a carrier and get a repair in 30 seconds at a reload. I just couldn't believe it. I've had critical engine damage, critical pilot damage, critical wing damage, critical tail damage, critical elevator damage, critical rudder damage, critical fuselage damage, critical engine cowling damage, critical damage to the central gear leg, which seems where people always shoot, and if you play War Thunder, then you'll definitely get that reference. Yeah. Critical holes in my left wing. No, I'm not gonna do that. But, it's really, really tough. It's one of the toughest aircraft you will ever find, and I cannot say that enough. Anyway, looking at the armament, it's got 120 rounds of cannon across 2 different rounds. We're starting to get into combat here, so I'll have to start commentating on that. And it has 4,000 rounds of MG across 4 7.7 machine guns. So you're basically never going to run out of ammo with those, so feel free to tickle your enemy. The cannon does do the most damage, but you can certainly fight without it. But anyway, if you're going to be getting a Tier 2 premium for Britain, don't get the D520. Get the Boomerang. It's so much better. Just get the Boomerang. Just do it. Get the Boomerang. Anyway, so I'm closing in on this P-39N here. I know the P-39 is a good aircraft. I fly it a lot. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to definitely err on the side of caution with this. It might, depending on how much speed he has, he might be able to turn with me. He might not. But anyway, I break off from that. I can't remember why. But I believe I spotted some dots, which might be showing up on the screen. Anyway. Yep, there's a dot. A P40. Now this thing, some consider to be less dangerous, some consider to be more dangerous than the P39. And this match, while it could still happen now with the new P40 battle rating, it probably wouldn't. You wouldn't see this many P400s and P40s. That's just a thing. A fact. Yeah. Anyway, there's an A20, and I decided to break off for the A20. I'm switching targets a lot, which is not bad, but it's not the best practice. Anyway, closing in on the A20, and away from my team. Now, while this didn't cost me anything, it's generally a good idea to stick with your team, or at least watch your back when you're not. So right here I fire some MG because he's escaping, and closing in, shooting, no hits. I did load tracers, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I can't remember. What did I put in the beginning? What did I have in the beginning? What was my loadout? I can't even remember. I believe it was tracers and air targets, though. Okay. So there, I started using cannon. Pretty soon, I'm going to hit but spark. There, hits but sparks, and aircraft destroyed. Alright. So, pulling the boomerang around and bringing it back into combat. Thinking about what I'm going to attack next. Going for the P400. Looking behind me. Nothing's there. That's terribly important. So, in I go to the fight. And nope, not gonna go after that one. Pulling up, come on, I believe in you, Boomerang. This plane does compress a lot, so you need to be very careful of that. Okay, pulling the Boomerang around. And there's another A20. This is just too good an opportunity to give up. I have to take it. I can't resist this. You got a hole in your left wing! Alright, there's an F4F behind me. That thing does have 650 cals. That thing can do quite a bit of damage, and here's where I make my fatal error. And I make fatal errors in both these battles. I break off for the P40. And you're gonna see in a second, that cost me my life. And shots go through, and I'm lit on fire. Had I stayed trying to dodge the Wildcat, and had I not gone for the P40, and I do kill the P40, had I stayed on the Wildcat, I wouldn't have died there. I wouldn't have died. So I played very badly, but 3 kills proves my point about the Boomerang. Anyway, on to the next match. Anyway, for the second battle of today, I am flying the Japanese premium F4U-1A. And yes, this is a captured premium. These things are not confusing. I just said that to try and crack people up. And hopefully it worked. But anyway, so, this plane is very, very nice. And I think the audio's out of sync. Depends. Okay, well, the game audio might be out of sync, so I might cut it. We'll see. But, anyway, so, since then, since the last game, I got something to drink, some nice half and half, just delicious. Anyway, so, do I recommend buying the F4U-1A? Sure, it's good fun, and I would say if you're trying to grind, get the A6M5 Co. But if you're just trying to have some fun, yeah, the audio's out of sync, I'm going to cut it. If you're just trying to have fun, then do get this. Definitely. Anyway, I just cut the audio. So this is a map this map is Zhangzhou, I believe. And this game is from 1.47, I think, or maybe 1.49. It's some really old gameplay. Anyway. Anyway. This was actually a pretty good game, and this is a pretty average game for this plane. Anyway, so just talking about the F4U, it has a decent cockpit, not such great visibility. It's definitely fun. It has a poor climb rate, which is why I'm not going for that much altitude here. I'm just going for speed, because it is a very maneuverable aircraft once you get it up to speed. And anything else I should mention? Its armament is 650 cals with 2,344 rounds of ammunition. Not bad. They're Browning M2s. They light stuff on fire. It's a great armament. Lots of fun. Anyway, I made a terrible mistake in this game. And I did several things wrong, but I'll get to that when they happen. So, I'm climbing out to around 10,000 feet at like a 5 to 10 degree angle. And just around 5 to 10 degree angle so I don't blow off too much speed, and now I'm just going for speed. I've lost some altitude, and I am climbing. I'm going to try to get to 10,000 feet, but I'm not going to like force it on myself. I'm not going to try and zoom up to 10,000 feet. Speed is more important than altitude, though having both is always better. Anyway, so, as I'm climbing up, first target's going to be spotted pretty soon. And I shot this because I was top tier, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's some aircraft that made me think I was top tier anyway. So, flying on in, there's the enemy base right there, and I'm closing on 10,000 feet, and I did zoom up a bit here. This gameplay is old, I don't remember everything I've done. It might be 1.49, which is more likely, but I can't remember. It's 1.49 or 1.47. I think it's 1.47. That's when I was like really getting into stuff. I started playing at 1.45, and then it continued until like I'm trying to remember here. Hold on a second. Anyway, so first target is spotted. It is a lag 3. And I'm going to be diving on that pretty shortly. And there's an I-16 behind me. It's got 2 Ki-45s on it. And right here I'm thinking a Ki-61 and a Ki-45 should be able to take it. But they can't, so I'm going in. And if somebody would please tell me where the air brake on the F4U is. Just please, because I don't know where it is. I really don't know where it is. Anyway, so take some shots to lag 3, miss, and my aim, and the fact that I accidentally fired off some shots at the beginning, and one other thing, cost me this game. So right here, I accidentally ripped off one set of flaps, and rip off the others, make the plane more aerodynamically even. I'm going to try and boom back up to altitude, or boom aborted. I'm going back in. Now this is very fast for the F4U. I'm lucky I didn't pancake. But fortunately, I pull out sooner than I could. And that's a bad idea. But it's okay. The F4U, good aircraft. You know, we hillbillies make good aircraft. Don't argue about that, huh? Alright. Anyway, I didn't even notice that. That lag 3 just flew under a bridge. Anyway, I've done what you should do in the F4U and done some turn fighting. So right now I'm building up some speed. I'm going to try and close back in. And if I hadn't been shooting here, and once again, my aim, the fact that I fired off some rounds at the beginning, and a couple other things, cost my team this match. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, but you know, that's correct. So finally some hits. God, I shoot badly. I've gotten much better at aiming. So you can see I'm already down to 1,400 rounds of, MG, and I guess it's 2,350 rounds, not 44, because I shot off some and I was just counting that number. KI-45 bailed out because he thinks I stole his kill. Anyway, coming in on Yak 1, and yes, I'm definitely down tiered here. Firing, missing, firing, missing. Continuing to miss. Into a rolling scissors. Shot some shots that never would have hit. Pulling around. Pulling around. Shooting. Missing. Missing. Can I get some hits already? Like, there. Am I, like, allowed to get any hits? So already down to 825 rounds of MG. Goodness, I am shooting badly. Anyway, that was my second kill. So now, for the I-16. Now, if I remember correctly, this is a Type 27, but it might be a Type 24. I don't remember. It was a Type 20-something. And that's what's important. But it was not a Type 28. I did buy a Type 28. Okay, it's a Type 24. I did buy a Type 28 recently because, you know, it earns more credits, and I really do like the Type 27. I can't remember if I need to respade my Type 27, though. So right here, I'm experimenting with the flap glitch, which was fixed since, like, when I was recording this, where even if your flaps were ripped off, it would still activate the combat flap effect, and that could have cost my team the match. That, my bad aiming, shooting off a few rounds at the beginning, which was accidental. I'm not one of those kinds of people, like the guy who I play with frequently, Matt the Wolf King. He just sometimes randomly shoots off rounds. He doesn't generally get very many kills. So right here I'm calling for cover, and something you'll notice, I should be able to outrun an I-16. Because, you know, they're not fast. That's just something they're not. But you'll notice I'm having a lot of trouble breaking 400 kilometers an hour. And I'm pretty sure that's because I left my air brakes out, but I'm not certain. I'll find out later. Anyway, so the I-16 is holding distance with me. He's able to get some shots in, and while I was flying, I was convinced it was a Type 27, so I was, you know, being really careful. The MG on that thing really can't hurt me that much. Had I been thinking, I would have pulled vertical and started turn fighting him. But, being American, I never think. So, under a bridge, or under another bridge, you'll notice, I still have the friendly color set to blue. I changed it to, like, lime green recently, because, you know, that's just what I do. Anyway, so, excuse my French, I had to burp. Anyway, that was probably very gross. Anyway, so, I've got a fluorescent green aircraft. Got damage all over the airframe. Nothing serious, because that's a Type 24. Skim a tree, give it a nice little haircut, and now 2 lag 3s appear. I believe this is a 334 and a 335. No, it's a 311 and a 334. Okay, so a 334 has a 37mm cannon with 12 rounds of ammunition mounted up front, as well as the normal Berezin Is it called? I don't even know. That, like, fancy 12.7 that all the Russian aircraft like to use. And then the 311 is just 150 rounds of Shvak, 200 rounds of MG across those 2 guns. So here I pull vertical. At this point I'm thinking, oh crap, this was a really bad idea. Going head on with the lag 311. Hits, misses, 269 rounds of ammunition left. Pulling around. That's my maturity level left in that ammunition there. Anyway, pulling around. Couldn't quite bring the guns on. Wrapping around. Air brake extended. And yes, it had been extended before. That's why I couldn't get that fast. Anyway, I no longer have my maturity level for my MG. Pulling around. Coming around. Still coming around. I still have my air brakes out. I'm flying very slowly. And here, I believe, is where I take my 3rd kill. And shoot. Come on, shoot. Yes. Hits and misses. Of course. When do I not miss? Okay. He's about to plant it. And 3rd kill of the match. So now I'm pulling around. I have 108 rounds left. And because I missed so many shots, I was not able to take this guy down. I've got 3 rounds of MG left. I'm just going to take the plane vertical and try to kill him. And I didn't take it vertical, but I'm pulling it around. And here's where I die. So, I'll just quickly summarize the F4U. Good aircraft. Probably don't buy it. I try to ram him, and I plant it into the ground. End of the match. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.